Welcome back to Wild Speculations. I'm Daniel.
I'm Scott.
Tonight we talk about Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 41, Call of the Wild.
Yes.
It began like snuggling into a warm, fluffy blanket. It was wonderful. Felt good to be back.
Yes.
Only to... We're coming up on another long break.
Yeah.
So, win some, you lose some. That seems to be the theme of this campaign anyway.
Very true.
We begin with Dorian's recording.
Yes.
Very
much fueled the ship.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And Four-Sided Dive invaded the show. With them asking what were-creature they would be.
Yeah.
And bringing up were-horses. And I'm pretty sure it has to be carnivores. And
when Liam says a were-rabbit and Laura's like, wait, I thought, I'm like, have you never seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail? Were-rabbit is totally viable.
I had not put that together, but now that you say that, that makes total sense. Huge pointy teeth. No, yeah, okay, that's legit. Fern. Well, I think we have to blame Chetney/Travis for Fern eating the mushroom.
Travis doesn't push the red dot. He's going to get someone to do it for him.
Well, I mean, Matt described it as like red with white. So, yeah, Travis definitely has to go, ooh. And Fern being...
back to Game Ranch.
Fern being Fern is just like, ooh, yeah. You said that pretty quick. You know your mushrooms? Oh, yeah.
I don't think you do. Well, maybe not.
So good. We have the encounter with the tigers.
Yes.
And the going through the strange trees. In my mind, I was imagining birch.
Okay.
Especially young birch can appear to be like very white.
Yeah.
And as they get older and as the bark is being more stressed and it grows bigger and it gets damaged or whatever, then you get the black striations.
Yeah.
And stuff. I don't know if that's 100% accurate to what Matt was describing, but that was what was in my brain.
You can see that.
But the tigers, as he's describing those, I was like, wait, is this displacer beasts? No, they don't have the tentacles. And he starts describing a more tiger, and I was like, blink tigers? Which is something you guys came up with. That wasn't me. That was you guys.
Theoretically, well, technically me.
Yes. But we didn't get to see any sort of special powers that they had.
Right.
Just that they were very large.
Yeah. Like, the way he described it, because he described it as kind of, the way it made it sound like the stripes went vertically rather than horizontally.
Yeah.
More horizontally rather than vertically.
Yeah.
I thought that was
a speed blur.
Yeah.
Effect. Which kind of made me wonder why that pattern was chosen. Other than it would look cool. But like from a from a nature perspective. Yeah. Other than to maybe make it look like it's moving faster than it is, which means maybe it's being hunted by something.
That, or I mean, if it's up in the trees, the horizontal will make.
Yeah,
because
the trees
the
are going this way. Yeah,
going out because it came from the trees rather than being mainly in the grasses.
The only argument against that is that even like lemurs that live in trees, have vertical stripes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the Gorgine, not necessarily intimidate them away, but at least make it understood that this meal is not worth your time.
Right.
You're going to lose more if you come after this meal than you gain.
Yeah. There are easier meals.
Yeah. And Travis over there waiting for the moment to recognize the alpha to get brought up. Yeah, that was a great moment for Travis, and sort of like Matt inadvertently feeding into the thought process that the alpha mentality also leans on. And I could tell as Matt was saying it, explaining as the NPC, and he could see Travis getting back in his chair and just that he was just choking on the words as they were coming out.
Yeah.
FCG seeks insight from the mushrooms, trying to do them himself. And he's like, well, I could just read your mind and experience it through you. He's like, but I don't want to do that. It's also only a minute at a time, by the way. So, yeah. But it did remind me, of how often psychedelics and how much it's used, and also sometimes how much meaning can be put on people under the influence of those things.
Yeah.
And like even in terms of writing and posthumously, like Edgar Allan Poe being on cocaine all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people who push is too strong a word, but encourage the use of chemicals will often point to these kind of things and how it can open your mind. And it was interesting, especially because Matt has been around that a lot. And for him to reinforce how much is bullshit with the beetle with the human face talking to Fern. I really enjoyed, and also sort of highlighted, and maybe he took it from Fern saying, I don't know, some of it might be bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah. For sure it's bullshit, but it might be real. I think that's what faith is.
Yes.
Faith is bullshit, but sometimes true. I don't know. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Pretty much, Webster, update your definitions. Because that's pretty much right on.
I think my favorite part of that whole thing was one of the Gorgine asked, what happened? And Orm's like, she ate a mushroom? He's like, is she gonna be okay? How long is this gonna last? To the guy. And the dude's like, why would she do that? And he's like, I ask that on the daily.
Yeah. And we all have that friend. If you don't have that friend, you are that friend.
Yeah. Chetney getting his knowledge of hemocraft tested. And a bit, the story she told about her master who gave in to the beast and they all had to take out. Had a lot to me, had a lot of the shades of World of Darkness to it. And probably, I would argue, maybe more Werewolf the Forsaken than the Apocalypse.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. The whole hemocraft aspect of Exandria is very World of Darkness-y.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Blood Cleric, the Blood Hunter, or the Blood Wizard.
Yeah. And I appreciated that. I mean, again, that could just be me reading into it, but sort of where my brain went. But we get, I want to call it a blood magic lesson, but I don't know if that's strictly accurate, where she begins to show him glyphs, or his glyph work. Do you think this is a herald of Matt changing something? Because he did that in campaign 2.
Yeah.
With the Cobalt Soul Monk with Bo. She had training sessions with Dyron every time Matt changed something.
Possibly.
Because it seemed like Travis was disappointed with how
it could be that, but at the same time, it kind of felt like, not like he multi-classed, I mean, he did to Rogue, but it's primarily just the Blood Hunter, like when Ford was going through his thing, or, Caleb in advancing his wizard, they kind of did some role play about the learning and the study. And
I could also see that.
Setting up for, I'm taking this next level,
Yeah, and in Chetney's story thus far, he hasn't been formally trained.
Yeah.
And perhaps Travis had a discussion with Matt, similarly to how Sam sort of came to the realization, like, early levels of cleric, I can sort of hand wave it as my robot power stuff, and but the higher you go, the less realism occurs in the spell list. And so
ability list.
Yeah, so he's like, I think I need something to fall back on.
How are you going to have Divine Intervention connect to the Matrix?
Yeah. So it could also be that where Travis is like, look, I'd like to go higher in Blood Hunter, but I haven't had any training yet.
Yeah.
So I could also see that.
That was the vibe I got from it. But could definitely be a change in a thing that can easily see that as well.
Yeah, because I don't think Travis is enjoying the glyph that he keeps using, because he wants to try to stop the legendary creatures from using their legendary actions to attack.
Yeah.
When it's only supposed to, it's designed to shut down or punish multi-attack.
Yeah.
Not multiple attacks in a turn.
Yeah.
And maybe Matt's changing that. Maybe he's just going to allow him to choose a different one.
I can see either of those possibilities.
And the next best thing for Fern, the morning after, when the one Gorgina gives her the twig to chew on, he's like, "Here, chew on this." And they're like, "Why have we never thought to do that?"
Just keep her occupied with something.
So I'm looking forward to how that expands going forward. If what they do to try to occupy Fern. Laudna, or Imogen, as Travis called her in the episode, which was hilarious. Wait, did you just met me? Yes. Hopes for a forged in sawdust challenge. So that that Chetney has to carve something, and they get to be under a time limit, and they get to be judges of it. Which was funny. And I don't know if there is a wood carving show like that. And if there is, I don't know what channel it would be on.
Be on TLC.
I was gonna say A&E, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of see how Forged in Fire is kind of History Channel. But yeah. I love that they sort of get the warning, don't steal anything from the temple thing. If you're going to take something, ask permission. Leave a gift or whatever. And everyone just looks at Ashley.
Yep.
So, something that we haven't talked about, I don't think, not that I recall, is everyone, and this is a perfect example of it, an insight check that multiple people at the table want to make. And instead of everyone making one individually, they ask, well, can they just have advantage? And usually it's because one of the people asking has a good modifier.
Right.
I have a problem with that because when you aid somebody, you're doing something in the moment.
Yeah.
How do you aid somebody on an insight check?
Unless you're whispering in each other's ears.
Yeah. And I think it would have been more fun for them each to make the roll, especially because all of them were like, wait, it would have been funnier for them to roll.
I mean, you could do it with Imogen because she could be just talking in your head, giving you the insight, her, what she picks up.
Yes. Okay, that works. But yeah, Anyway, I love Sam saying, I can't tell if Ashley Johnson is lying. Are you? And she's like, No, I'm totally being truthful. Mm.
I love when he uses the command spell. Fetch.
Yes. Yeah, that was. I don't want to say the best moment of that fight, but it's one
of the best uses of that spell.
True. And as a one-word command, Rose, yes, an excellent use, for sure.
Yep.
Now, I was playing a game on my desktop, had the laptop playing the episode. I fell asleep. And I missed the whole prayer.
Okay.
And I woke up again when Matt was bringing the map out.
Mm.
So that's like a 15, 20-minute nap that I ended up taking.
Nice.
And I don't know. I admire Chetney for being honest, because I feel like a lot of the times players try to, or our players here, try to hem and haw around deities and try to conceal things, and Chetney just like puts it out. I'm going to use it for self-serving purposes, and I have a murder that I want to do. But, I also want to make the world a better place. I admire that truthiness of him in the moment. Do you think he will ever get to that murder? Or is that going to be a campaign 3 one-shot afterwards?
No, I think he'll get to it.
I think with his skyship he can get up there and...
I mean, he made time to threaten, berate, and psychologically torture a shopkeep for not giving him the prices he wanted. I think he'll make time.
Yeah. Yeah, Rose. I also, and
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, it was almost a coming clean because he got caught trying to say what the god wanted. Because initially she's like, "Are you hunter or prey?" Well, I'm hunter. No, you're both. Everyone is both. And he's realizing that giving the answers that he thinks he's supposed to aren't necessarily right. So he finally just comes clean. Rather than more, I'm being honest and upfront, it's more, I got caught trying to play the game, I may as well just spill the beans, is how I took it. Now that may be colored by how I feel about Chetney. Don't dislike him, but, we've established Travis is evil. We've established Chetney is for me what Molly Muck was for you.
Fair.
But that's how I took the scene. So you guys are... I can see where you guys are coming from, but you're definitely giving him more credit than I did at the moment.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think... from a shipping perspective, Sexy Fern Wolf was another big moment.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if the horniness of the one-shot is playing into now some of what we're going to see going forward.
Maybe, but
Or
really,
Laura's joking that we'll just turn this into a dating sim and not go anywhere.
but to be fair, Fern's kind of been that way the whole campaign. I mean, even when they were like, "Oh, maybe this is like a truce serum. Which of us is the hot one?" Oh, well, you all have fantastic parts that are fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that gets back to her also saying,
I'm going to go through the whole part. Yeah.
Orem getting his sword upgrade. To me, kind of came out of left field.
I think it came out of saving one when Matt realized, oh, the fighter doesn't have a magic weapon. Because he's like, can I take this? This isn't magic. I don't have anything that's magic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're 7th level. The fighter doesn't have a magic sword. But at the same time, I also think that level 8, he'd almost be, unless there's a really compelling story reason, he'd almost be dumb not to go to 8, take a feat, lean towards that druid or whatever he's going to go, get the bump if he goes paladin, because a lot of people are talking about him multi-classing now with the sword, the nature thing, but probably not, maybe not. If he does, I think he's going to go 8th fighter, get a feat.
Is his strength 13? Or his charisma?
His charisma is too low.
Because I thought we had looked at that a long time ago and discounted it as not possible. Like Matt would have to bend too many rules. Like with Travis and Ford, he sort of
I think he's got the strength.
Okay.
But I don't think he has the charisma. But I don't think that he's going to go paladin. No. There are people talking about it. I think he will either go druid or ranger. If he does.
I don't think he'll multi-class.
You think he's going to play this like Caleb?
Yeah.
Just straight? Yeah. I mean, I can see that, but I could see him taking feats that resemble Magic Initiate, Fey Touch, whatever.
Yeah, I can see that too.
A touch of that Ashari feel. I think we're going to see him lean into the Ashari. And when he had the vines and stuff, I was kind of thinking, and user by the name of Lucas, Lukiss, on Reddit had a theory that I was kind of like, couldn't quite remember, but then when I saw it, I remembered fully. I was like trying to think of something from EXU that was like just at the back of my mind and couldn't pull it forward. In the original EXU, when they're in that lost city and the spiritual leader gives Orem a seed, and Orem's like, respectfully, what do I do with this? She's like, you're a Shari, right? Yeah, make it grow. And then in EXU Calamity, the Tree of Names gets destroyed during the Apogee Solstice, which is what weakens the things and helps bring about the calamity, the planar barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Campaign 3, they're going to plant a new Tree of Names.
Interesting notion.
On the Apogee Solstice.
I don't think so, but it's an interesting notion. And in the realm of things that's possible or impossible, it's certainly possible. Yeah, I don't know. They would have to be recreating it from scratch. really. Because there was no, like, that tree was sundered and then vaporized when the whole continent exploded.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a new thing, there's not a seed from that to do. But in terms of could druids do something like that again? Yes.
Yeah. And the Ashari are the descendants of the Drashari who did that.
True.
Or maybe not on the Avenging Solstice, but I think part of the end game is giving that seed at least to Keyleth to move forward with.
I'm pretty sure that stays in his inventory and is never brought up again. Or if it comes up again, it comes up the same way that Vex taking his level, the first level of Druid, and Druid crafting the flowers
Vex.
as he.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a shirt for a reason, man.
There's actually two of them. I'm Vex. I'm Vex.
Yes.
She's Vex. He's Vex.
Yeah. Yes. I also, like, to me it did come out, the sword is out of left field, but I also came to the same conclusion you did. That it's probably because he doesn't have a magic weapon.
Yeah.
And Ashton now has two.
Well, I mean, by 7th
Ashton.
level, at minimum, the martial classes should have a magic weapon.
The game is certainly designed that way.
Like, it starts getting harder and, like,
impossible
to be effective as a purely martial class if you don't have.
Yeah.
We'll see how when D&D changes that, but
like that was one of the things in the one shot I ran on Sunday that I designed for my daughter. Very specifically, no one's got magic weapons for that very specific reason. When you come up against monsters that have resistance and immunity, you need to be afraid. You need to not be able to hurt them. It's a horror game, so that's why. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you know me, I like the underdog.
Yeah. The big thing for me, like the big character growth moment, is after, and especially after everyone was like, do we believe her about not, or is she gonna steal something? Fern flips the platinum piece.
Yep.
And says thank you. Why do you think she was saying thank you?
Two possibilities. The probability she took something. There was some kind of message between her and Matt. The other thing, she's Faye. She knows how this, if you're going to take something, at least leave something. She knows how that shit works. She's Faye.
See, I thought...
She understands the art of the deal.
My interpretation of that moment was her being kind of on the fence about Chetney especially since he changed from Ruinous and attacked her. And I think my interpretation, she was thanking the spirit for fixing that part.
Possibly. Rose, you have a good idea too. Thanks for the sword. Because they did technically take something, so that's where the Fae comes in. She's like, because the sword was changed, and now had vines as a handle, guard. we better leave, because again, she's Fae, she knows that we better leave something so we don't offend them.
Except she hasn't thanked anyone on behalf of anyone else.
I mean, if she's going to, it's going to be Horum. They've been together the longest.
Yeah. But also my interpretation is that sword was not from the spirit of that cave. It was from the Wild Mother.
Yeah. Yeah. The Wild Mother is the most active deity on Exandria. The most hands-on deity.
I don't think so.
She's been key
You have
in
a
every
bias.
campaign.
We have a bias because of how active she's been in each campaign. Every prime deity is that active in some aspect of someone's life on Exandria.
Are they though?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see all gods being equally active in the world. Not just in this campaign, but in D&D in general.
If the god has an aspect, a role to play, that is the act. That is how active they are. How important that is to the world and the campaign that you're playing will determine how strong that presence is felt.
Fair.
Also, the divine gate.
Well, for me, even in like real world mythology, there were definitely gods that were more active in the affairs of men than other gods.
Yes. Which to me is why it's sort of ironic for me. And I do enjoy every single Wild Mother temple we've come across, just about, are in ruins. And it says something about Exandria that Matt has done it that way. And sort of what was lost during the Age of Arcanum. And one of those things was respect for nature.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me wonder, like, is the Wild Mother so involved in keeping the secrets of the moon hidden because she doesn't want to see that happen again?
Yeah.
Like, that, one of the things that was very clear from Calamity is Asmodeus's viewpoint of they are my siblings.
Yeah.
You are the problem, mortals. May be a viewpoint of other gods, even the prime deities.
Yeah.
And I could certainly see the Wild Mother having a touch of that.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Where she may not be as antagonistic against people as Asmodeus is, but her willingness to swallow up their constructions, that, you know, the natural world will wipe out all evidence of your being here. You know, I am not nonplussed about you being here or not.
Little passive-aggressive post-its all over the place.
Yes. Of course, you could be hitting on something in the sense that what deities have the most power through the divine gate.
Yeah.
And she may have the most because of her domains.
Yeah.
where the Dawnfather does feel remote, though powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. And all that and what if the Wild Mother wants the Divine Gate to come down because she wants more power on Exandria the way she had before? Because her worship has waned in a lot of the places.
Reestablish nature.
Yeah.
She's the big bad of Campaign 4. Campaign 3, the Divine Gate comes down. Campaign 4, Wild Mother tries to reclaim the planet.
Yeah. I mean, it would work. Do you want to go through speculation on their levels? So, when Matt said that, I was like, fuck yeah, called it. Episode early. That's rare.
Yeah.
Because we were like 2, maybe 3 episodes, depending on how long this takes. But he was like, you all level up. And I was like, fuck yeah. And he's like, and they're like, well, are we going to roll? And he's like, yeah. And then they were like, well, we can do it later. And I'm just like,
yeah.
But it does give us room now.
Sure. I mean, we can.
To speculate wildly on what the levels are going to be.
I think Chetney's going to go Blood Hunter. Big Blood Hunter. Too much training montage in this episode.
I think you're probably right. And also, I'm wondering, because on Four-Sided Dive, Taliesin talked about, he and Travis talked about the Blood Hunter.
Hmm.
And we saw Kingsley, Blood Hunter, swashbuckler, how pretty potent that was.
Yeah.
And I was like, is Chetney going to go swashbuckler?
Ooh, maybe.
Like, could Travis just be copying Taliesin's build?
Get Rogue 2, get some cunning actions in there.
Yeah.
And dip into swashbuckler.
Yeah.
Does he have the charisma to make that worthwhile?
Not for the initiative, maybe.
But I guess, yeah, that's the only thing that would be...
Yeah.
I mean, you give him, I think, a +1 bump to his initiative, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
Any bump to initiative is good.
Yeah. Yeah, charisma's his worst stat, but I still think it's a +1. But even so, you don't necessarily take swashbuckler for that. It's, I attack you, you can't attack me, now I'm going to move away.
Yeah.
And also, for a scout of the party, swashbuckler is actually the better rogue.
Yeah. Because,
have.
if no one's around me, I still get my sneak attack.
Yep. So it fits into how he is playing Chetney and wanting to be out front.
Yeah.
And if he can reliably get his sneak attack on that, then I think he'll enjoy that. Also, the way that he was jumping around and moving and not getting attacks of opportunity sort of also kind of foreshadowed that.
Yeah.
In the fight. But yeah, I think for this one, I think he's definitely going Blood Hunter. Laudna, Sorcerer, I think.
I think so, too.
Um,
I think she went Warlock just to get Pate.
Yeah.
And she's just going to go Sorcerer for the rest.
Yeah, I think so, too. Yeah.
Which I mean, it's not a bad call. And if she's ever tight and like really needs a stat boost or she can do the one more level of Warlock and get that. You know, so she's always just one level away from a feat if she's got one that really fits for her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Keep building the sorcerer, and if I really need a feat, you know, because things change and how I'm playing, and this would be really helpful. Okay, I'll just dip one more Warlock, grab that feat, then go back to sorcerer.
Yeah.
So having
and another invocation, I think. Right?
Not
no,
till
no,
fifth.
that's right.
That's their 5th level thing, because that's when you can get the extra attack invocation. If you're packed in the blade.
Yeah.
So I think she's pretty much going to go sorcerer, and like I said, unless it's at a level where she wouldn't get a feat as sorcerer, but really wants to take a feat.
Yeah. Well, that gives her 3rd level spells if she does take sorcerer. Finally. Trying to think if there's anything that jumps out at me for 3rd level spells. Tiny Hut.
Tiny Hut's always a great one. Speak with Dead would fit Bodna.
Is that on the sorcerer list? Or the Shadow Sorcerer expanded list?
It might be. I think it is.
I
think it went within Tasha's, became part of the spell list for sorcerers. I know it did for wizards. I think it also did for sorcerers during Tasha's.
Yeah, they were talking about how much death they've seen on Four-Sided Die, yeah. FCG, I think, stays Cleric.
Yep. I think if he was going to multi-class, he would have done it already.
Yeah. Do you think his 8th level is potent spellcasting? Where he gets to add his wisdom to his cantrips damage?
No, I think he's going to get the Tasha's one alternative, which allows you to... it's basically... You get, when you hit with an attack spell or weapon, you can add a D8 in radiant damage. It's kind of like a hybrid.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
And that's also what clerics will get as a base feature in the 1D&D playtest, is they just get that one, all of them.
Yeah.
Or we've already discussed.
Is Telepathic Bond 5th level spell?
Varies?
Yeah. Or is that a 7th level?
No, I think it's 5th level.
So, you could get that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fern. Part of me thinks she's going to go rogue. Just because the bonus action dash. Disengage and stuff.
Yeah.
Because so much of her druid stuff falls on her action. Where if she has the rogue mixed in, she can do that druid action stuff. And then, like, if she could wild shape and then bonus action dash.
Yeah. That's a possibility. It's more likely that she'll do that than go druid, but like, I don't really see huge. It's like a dead level for her either way. It's nothing tremendous. Not necessarily dead level, but like not a high impact. I mean, yeah, it'll give her some stuff with her.
Because 8th level's where her wild shape improves.
Right.
Yeah.
And unless she goes druid. This one, she's not going to hit that for a while.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I think she's going to go rogue. I think we'll see her continue in rogue. I think she's got what she wants out of druid.
Interesting.
Like, I think she's like 6th level ability for my subclass. That's all I really need. Now let's go with the other aspect of her.
Interesting. So do you think what subclass of rogue do you think then she's going to aim for?
That I'm not sure. Scout is the woodsy one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Swarmkeeper, maybe? Or no, that's Ranger. She goes Ranger.
I could see Thief.
Thief, yeah.
It would be interesting to see.
It'll be Thief or Arcane Trickster. Either way gives her the ability.
That won't be Arcane Trickster, it's Intelligence.
Oh, yeah, it'll be Thief then. It's like either way it gives her a bonus action steal something.
Yes.
Through those two. So that's where she goes.
And she'll get a climb speed equal to her speed.
Yep. Which, I mean, she's already got goat hooves, I mean.
Oh man, Mirthful Leap and then a climb speed on top.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we'll see her just keep rogue and go Thief.
Interesting. Imogen, Sorcerer. I don't think Laura's multi-classing at all this time.
No.
Yeah. She might take Telepathic Bond.
If she multi-classes, it'll be later, and it will be into Warlock with the moon. Or
will she do...
it'll either be...
Oh no, that's the
like
Sorcerer subclass from...
Great Old One with the moon, or it will be Celestial with one of the Forgotten Gods.
Mm.
If she multi-classes, that's what it's going to be. But I don't think she will.
Yeah.
And if she does, it'll just be a 1 to 2 level dip. Get whatever your
Yeah.
first level subclass is, maybe a couple invocations, jump back.
Yeah.
So, Ashton stays Barbarian.
Yeah.
Taliesin isn't really a big multi-classer. The closest he got was taking a Magic Initiate Warlock.
Well, Kingsley is multi-classed.
Yeah, but that's his only one. And what? That was just for a one-shot
Yeah.
or two?
That's fair.
Mollymock really didn't
Well,
live long
especially-
enough to multi-class. Caduceus didn't multi-class.
Well,
Percy
and
didn't multi-class.
I think Taliesin doesn't... He avoids multi-classing when it's something that Matt has built.
Yeah.
And I think...
Which is, with the exception of
Kingsley,
the Grave.
like Kingsley, in his mind, I think Mollymock was the Blood Hunter. He's dead. No, I'm not putting any more levels in that. What does Kingsley do? And I think that's where he...
Yeah.
But... Yeah, and I think... Yeah.
And we've discussed Orem. He stays fighter for the feat. If he's going to multi-class, it won't get until the following level. And he's going to get a feat that and play the next level as the prep round for whatever he multi-classes into, if he does. But I don't think he will.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's going. He may use feats to flavor a multi-class dip, but he's not actually going to multi-class.
So here's an interesting possibility. He multi-classes Rogue and aims for Inquisitive. And then we would have an interesting dynamic that we have 3 rogues in the party. 3 rogues that are at least 3 dips. You know? I don't know if he necessarily is served well by Inquisitive, though. But he has a good wisdom.
Yeah,
So I don't know. But no, I think
he'd be better if he multi-classes. I think he'd be better served either going Druid or Tempest nature type cleric to feed into the Ashari.
I could see him doing the Moon Sorcerer.
The Lunar, yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. But I could see it.
But he doesn't have the charisma for it.
Orange Charisma's high enough.
Is it? Because I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the charisma for dipping to Paladin.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Okay. Yeah.
I think he's a 12. So if he does that, he would have to take a half beat that gives him a bump to charisma.
Or just, he doesn't take a feat at 8th level, bumps his charisma and something else.
Yeah.
Does he do what Keyleth did? Which is take Inspiring Leader.
Ooh.
She bumped her charisma to get it, and then got the feat. Just because she's leader of the Shari, so it just sort of fit. And in terms of following,
the whole reason she was adventuring was to learn how to become a leader.
Yeah. I don't know. But no, I think Liam is looking forward to. I have 3 attacks a turn. Action Surge, I have 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I could also see him taking the Battle Master Initiate feat. Also
Martial
at
Adept.
some point.
Yeah. He's got the fighting style. He's got the subclass. I could see him just this level, 8th level fighter. I'm taking Martial Adept. I'm expanding my repertoire.
Yeah.
Getting a few more dice to play with every short rest.
Yeah, Rose. He's going to be terrifying. As scary as Percy was, and probably scarier.
Well, if they go that high, if he stays all fighter, they end up getting 4 attacks.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna, and he'll get the feature that if he doesn't have any superior dice, he gets 1.
Yeah.
And the feat gives you more. The fight. So he's
got the ones from the subclass, 1 from the fighting style, and he'll get 2 from the. So he'll be 3 above a regular battle master of that level.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Which is why they changed the Knights of Solamnia feats in the printed version from the UA. Because the UA gave you superiority dice and maneuvers.
Oh, yeah.
Now they just give you an ability that you can use once per short rest. Because, I'm just going to spend all my fighter feats to gain all these extra dice.
Yeah. At any rate, we will get to learn what they did on Thursday, and we'll be back on Tuesday to talk about whether or not we were wrong or not. Take care of yourselves and each other, guys. Good night.